Right then, so this next song has a chorus, and this is where you come in. Listen to that murmur of terror there. Don't worry, so this is, it's really, really easy. This is about a sailor from Sunderland, up in the northeast, and in fact I played this song in Newcastle not so long ago. Forgetting, of course, that Newcastle and Sunderland are perhaps not the best of friends. And I introduced the song like, this is about a sailor from the northeast. But anyway, hopefully we won't encounter that problem here. But this is a sailor called Jack Crawford, who was the hero of the Battle of Camperdown back in the late 1700s, I think. And the story goes basically that it was a battle at sea, and the British flag was flying high at the top of the ship. And in those days, if the mast was felled or the flag was lowered for any reason, then this was a sign of surrender. And in amongst all this heavy firing, the mast was indeed felled. And the story is that Jack bravely grabbed hold of the flag and in the midst of all this firing climbed up to the top and nailed the flag back on, hence nailing your colours to the mast. Oh, that's a nice little noise. So, that is the chorus line. No, that's the thing with the dancing girls, isn't it? This is the line of the chorus, which is very easy. It goes, nailed his colours to the mast, nailed his colours to the mast. Then there's a line that changes every time, and then nailed his colours to the mast. So it's dead easy. And it's written by a guy called Johnny Handel, who is the subject of one of the best song lyrics I've ever heard, by a guy called Jez Lowe, who's one of my very favourite songwriters. And the line is, a Scotsman said my songs were shite and my accent was a scandal, and the only true-born Geordies left a Sting and Johnny Handel. And that's all I knew about this man until I went to university. And then in the second week of university, who should give us a guest lecture but Johnny Handel? And he's still going strong, even though he's pushing 90. He might even be 90. But you still see him at Whitby Folk Week every year. And he's still got a mighty voice on him. So this is Jack Crawford, and your line is nailed his colours to the mast. Jack Crawford was a Sunderland man, he worked on board the keel. Up and down Ware Valley, he knew the river well. And there he joined the navy, amongst the cannon blast. And there became the hero, nailed his colours to the mast. Nailed his colours to the mast, nailed his colours to the mast. And there became the hero, nailed his colours to the mast. Jack sailed aboard the Venerable, the flagship of the fleet, and they sailed into the Channel, the Hollanders to meet. The battle was at Camperdown, and the shots flew thick and fast, and that's where Jack Crawford nailed his colours to the mast. Nailed his colours to the mast, nailed his colours to the mast, and that's where Jack Crawford nailed his colours to the mast. 6 times the flag was shot away as the chain shot flew like hail. As the master fell down the deck and the fleet began to fail, Jack Crawford he picked up the flag and nimble to the last. He climbed the top of the main and nailed his colours to the mast. Nailed his colours to the mast, nailed his colours to the mast. He climbed the top of the main and nailed his colours to the mast. Heard that day as the English hard fought back. The Dutch were torn asunder and the cry went up for Jack. Ronald Duncan he stepped up to him saying we won the day at last. But Jack Crawford was a hero, nailed his colours to the mast. Nailed his colours to the mast, nailed his colours to the mast. Jack Crawford was a hero, nailed his colours to the mast. So Jack was flown to London, he was
was sent for by the king. He said, Jack, you're a hero, as the crowd began to sing. Here's a pension, £30 a year, will he fought them to the last. Raise a cheer for brave Jack Crawford, and nailed his colours to the mast. Nailed his colours to the mast. Nailed his colours to the mast. Raise a cheer for brave Jack Crawford, and nailed his colours to the mast. So if you go to Sunderland, leave the streets and leave the crowd. See that statue of him standing there so proud. When you're down in Mowbray Park, pause as you go past, and remember brave Jack Crawford, who nailed his colours to the mast. Nailed his colours to the mast. Nailed his colours to the mast. Remember brave Jack Crawford, who nailed his colours to the mast. Nailed his colours to the mast. Nailed his colours to the mast. Remember brave Jack Crawford, who nailed his colours to the mast.
Music Now, which is a great organisation, and they organised a residency in a care home in London. So myself and a great mandolin player, Nick Zupardi, we did a series of gigs in this care home, and one of the residents happened to be a guy called Glenn Mason, who was a singer and an actor, and in the late 50s and early 60s he'd been quite a big star. And we were told about him on the first session, and then we went on the internet to see what we could find, and there were quite a lot of clips still on YouTube of him on the telly back in his heyday, which he was pretty much every week back then. And he was in a film as well. He was in a film directed by Michael Winner called Climb Up the Wall, and he was also in a film with John Le Mesurier. He played Wilson in Dad's Army as well, which is really cool. And we found all this online, and it was great, and we thought it'd be kind of fun to learn some of his songs and see what would happen. So we did just that, and he kind of, to begin with, he was really sort of ecstatic to hear his music again. He hadn't heard it for a long time, and he was very emotional the first time we played his song. He kind of joined in with a little bit, but he was quite teary. But over the weeks, he began to sort of settle into it a little bit more, and he to the stage where there was no stopping him. Basically, it was great. And we'd have a kind of Glenn section of each gig, where he would do his thing, and Nick and I would just back him up, and he would just go for it. And the other residents loved this, and the staff certainly loved this as well. And it was a very joyous experience, really, all round. And as a serial stage tart myself, I think I related to his sort of how much he loved being a performer again. It was great. And we finished the project anyway, and he died about a year later. So he really kind of went out on a high. I thought, well, if ever there was a song to write, then this is it. And it sort of went round my head for a bit, and then I remember I was up in the lakes where my parents live, and I think the song had obviously been brewing for a long time, and I just wrote it, and it was done quite quickly, and I recorded it on Incidents and Accidents. So I shall sing it for you now. This one's for Glenn, and it's called The Song Always Stays. And while the story is very much Glenn, I called it The Song Always Stays because it's very much how I feel with music. Well, it's just what I've seen with music, really, where it is like the one thing that really will always make that difference. I've been in homes with people suffering from very, very severe dementia, and all the very difficult stuff that goes with it, like not really being able to speak much anymore and not recognising people they should recognise, all that horrible, difficult stuff. But they'll still remember a song. They'll still sing start to finish a song that they know. And even more remarkable, perhaps, is they will also learn new music as well. There's this myth that you can only sing, songs from their era. Actually, it's not true at all. The folk music, particularly, seems to have an amazing effect, and it gets everybody going. And it's, as I say, I've had some very joyous experiences playing in these places. So this one's for Glenn, and this is called The Song Always Stays. These two stand before me with instruments in tow. The chairs all around me filled with people I don't know. I've heard that tune before somewhere, but I can't remember when.
helps me perform again. I don't know when I got here. It may have been a week ago, or it may have been some years. Sometimes there's a laugh and sometimes a tear, but the song always stays. The audience is there, but I can't see the stage. The jet black hair is grey, and I start to feel my age. That songline is taking me to that time of my life when the stage light shone so bright. I don't know when I got here. It may have been a week ago, or it may have been some years. Sometimes there's a laugh and sometimes a tear, but the song always stays. These two want to talk to me. It seems I'm not just history. I have a voice, I have a choice, a meaning beyond just sitting here. I didn't sing that song at all for 20 years or more. I'll sing it now to people who are dancing by the door. Once a week I'm me again, the me from times of old. My story now gets told. I don't know when I got here. It may have been a week ago, or it may have been some years. Sometimes there's a laugh and sometimes a tear, but the song always stays. I don't know when I got here. It may have been a week ago, or it may have been some years. Sometimes there's a laugh and sometimes a tear, but the song always stays. But the song always stays.
Thank you very much. Well, this next song is, well, it goes right back to when I was very little. So, when I first started gigging, which was back when I was 16 or something, generally in pubs around Stafford or Staffordshire, and then when I went to university, I played in a lot of pubs around the northeast, and some of them were a touch on the rough side. So generally it was a case of playing either ludicrous, fast, widdly banjo nonsense or songs that everybody knew. So, which I actually really enjoyed. Secretly, I quite miss it. I'm stuck playing folk music now. No, I'm joking. Yes, don't let that be on the record, Mark. But anyway, as I say, I used to do quite a few of these covers, and this song was very much one of those. And one time I was in a pub in Norton Bridge called the Railway, which sadly doesn't exist anymore, I don't think. But I used to play there quite often. And one time, my legendary banjo teacher, George, was at one of these gigs. And I think he was a tiny bit tiddly, to be honest. But afterwards, he came up to me and he said, this was the Paul Simon song I played. And he said, oh, Dan, that Paul Simon thing, that's great. Like, I've never heard you do that before. Like, why not? That's great. And I said, well, the reason he'd never heard me do it before is the only gig he'd seen me do was at a folk club that was it's gone now actually, long since, but it was a very nice folk club, and folk clubs are great things, I hasten to add, but this particular one was quite choosy about what it liked. So basically, if it wasn't the 18-verse ballad about incest or sheep or something, then they weren't really that fussed. So I wasn't sure that a Paul Simon song would particularly be their bag. And I put this to George, and he said, well, you know, who cares what they think? Well, I think it's great, and I think you should play it everywhere. So I thought, well, George always knows best. So I started playing it everywhere, which was fine, except I sort of became more known for doing a sodding Paul Simon cover than I was for playing the banjo. So I decided to ditch it for a while. And then it made an unexpected reappearance in my... So I'm in a band called the Urban Folk Quartet, and we were playing in Hitchin Folk Club a while ago, and well, when was it now? It'd be late last year, or the year before, and Joe, my very unpredictable bandmate, said, we're going to play a new number now, and then after that the three of us are going to go off and shout requests at Dan, which I thought was a joke. Apparently not. And he said, can you do the Paul Simon thing? So it made an unexpected reappearance in my life, and I thought, God, I miss playing this, it's great. So it's now firmly back, and there've been a few gigs where people have come up to the CD table and said, which album's the Paul Simon one on? And so far it is not. So this is the chance to put it right. So I shall play this one for you. And it's off my favourite album in the world ever, which is an album called Graceland. And you'll all know the song, I'm sure.
Street and says, why am I soft in the middle now? Why am I soft in the middle? The rest of my life is so hard. I need a photo opportunity. I want a shot of redemption. Don't want to end up a cartoon in a cartoon graveyard. Bone digger, dogs in the moonlight, far away from my well-lit door. Just a beer belly, get these nuts away from me, you know. I don't find this stuff amusing anymore. Short of attention, got a short little span of attention. All my nights are so long. Where's my wife and family? What if I die here? Who'll be my role model now that my role model's gone? He's up back down the alley with some roly-poly little black-faced girl. All alone, there were incidents and accidents, there were hits and allegations. First time around, doesn't speak the language, he holds no currency. He's a farm man, he's surrounded by the sound of cattle in the marketplace, scatterings and orphanages. He looks around, he sees angels in the architecture, spinning in infinity, and says amen, hallelujah. If you'll be my bodyguard, I can be
as I generally do, I'm going to finish up with a few tunes. And although if you're familiar with how these things work, there'll probably be another one after that as well. But basically these tunes are going to start with a really quite an old tune of mine, which is called Jox's Tune, which is named after what was Jox O'Brady's in centre of Stafford, which is the first pub I really sort of started gigging in regularly, and to this day I play there. Now the Market Vaults, I play there every Christmas, and that's always an awful lot of fun. I don't mean on Christmas Day, that'd be kind of weird. I mean like just before Christmas, and that's always a lot of fun. But the first tune's called Jox's Tune, and then that goes into a tune called The Vaults, which is when the pub changed its name. I thought I'd better write it a new tune. So that's the second tune, and then the third tune is called Summer Rain. And then finally, my favourite probably tune of all time called The High Reel, which is pretty much the reason I took up the banjo. And traditionally it's the one I tend to finish with, so I shall leave you with this. So this is a few tunes for you, and thanks so much again, and do stick around for a chat afterwards, and obviously the CDs are there too. And this is Jox's set. Aye, right then, yeah. I would offer to go outside and come back on, but it's not very nice out there. Well, thank you all very much. It's lovely to play for you, as it always is to play here. And thank you very much indeed to those of you who travelled quite some way. I know some of you have come a very long way, and it's very much appreciated. And in fact, back in December, I played at a little village called Eton Constantine. Eton Constantine in Shropshire, which is very nice, and the organisers of that wonderful gig are here tonight, which is very nice. And just for the record, she makes an awesome veggie lasagna, just so you know. And you guys who've come from Bristol, that's serious commitment. Thank you very, very much, especially on such a miserable day as well. So thank you very much. And I'm going to leave you with this one. It's an old bluegrass classic by Lester Flatt. Although truth be told, I actually learned it from Dolly Parton. Not in person, sadly, that would be good. But it has a really easy call and response chorus, which is where you come in. And it really will sound crap on the album if you don't do it, so just go for it. It's only 3 minutes and then you can just forget it about it. So, basically, in the chorus, I sing from now on, then you sing from now on, then I sing all night long, then you sing all night long. And that's pretty much it. The tagline is, I'm going to sleep with one eye open from now on. You can join in with that as well if you like. But the crucial bits are from now on and all night long. And it's called, I'm going to sleep with one eye open. So thank you all very much, and I will see you very soon.